Hello, this is the Daily Forex Report for March 22nd. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This pair closed down just by a little bit, did create an inside bar, very low volume. Look for this pair to potentially move higher and hit resistance around 82.00, possibly moving lower and hitting some support around 79.75. Just going to have to see which direction this particular pair is going to go. Now, the Euro USD pulled back a little bit, did break the previous session's high, overall moving higher. We are looking for this pair to potentially move as high as 143.20, possibly as low as 140.81. Looking for some resistance around 142.50, and look for some support around 141.25. Now the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed higher. It did close above our area of previous resistance, which is a good sign. Looking for it to continue an upward move. This particular pair, look for it to hit some resistance around 164.00, possibly hitting some support around 162.75. Now the US Swiss, this pair created an inside bar for the second day in a row. Closed down just by a little bit. Obviously it's consolidating down. I would venture to say for a breakout to the downside, but of course we won't know until the market actually moves. We do know it is consolidating, and we also know that when we have consolidation, most likely their breakout is coming. We have two inside bars in a row. That's another sign of potentially breaking out. So to see this pair break out in the next session, possibly or two, it's definitely going to happen. It's just which direction. All right, this pair, we're looking for it to go potentially as high as 0.9108, possibly as low as 0.8956. Look for some resistance around 0.9090, and look for some support around 0.8950. Now, with that said, with the U.S., well, first let's talk about the news. We have the pound releasing the Bank of England minutes, and that's at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. We also have the U.S. Releasing the MBA mortgage applications for March at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. No consensus on that one. Previous was at negative 0.7%. We also have the New Zealand dollar releasing their gross domestic product for the fourth quarter as well as year to date at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. The previous on the fourth quarter was negative 0.2%. Gross domestic product for the year so far, showing a fourth quarter, or for last year, fourth quarter year to date was 1.5%. So still positive overall year to date, which is definitely good news for the New Zealand dollar. Okay, as far as what I'm looking at during this next session, we have a couple of things to look at. We have this. Let's zoom out a little bit. This is the U.S. Swiss on the day time frame. As we just talked earlier, we do have the possibility of a breakout. We most likely to the downside, but that's definitely not guaranteed. We have two inside bars in a row, two inside bar days in a row, where the previous bar's high is higher and the low is lower. So we have some potential here for breakouts to occur. To the downside, there's just a handful of places we can put some previous support because we're at a very low. So where it will go from there is anyone's guess how far it will drop. If we get a reversal, though, we do have some good points of reference as to when and where that may occur as far as moving to the upside. So let's talk about the upside first. We have looks like a buy potential around the 0.9075 mark. Then about 13 pips up, we hit first area of resistance, potential resistance. The next little bit, if you take the low here, is another point, and then it goes on up from there. You could definitely just take a quick little clip out of it, or you could see if it will move up higher. We have this trend line. You definitely need to be aware of it at about 100 pips up from the buy. Now that does mean that this pair would have moved about 150 pips. Not to say that's impossible. As you can see here, we had a day that was 166 pips, so it is possible for it to move to the upside and hit this trend line. So keep an eye on that. Now to the downside, we have potential short around the 0.8990 mark, moving down about 30 pips, possibly down 75 pips from that point. I would use a risk to reward of 1-to-1 on these, minus this little scalp here. If you take that, you may want to add a few more pips for your stop loss to allot for sideways move. But double inside bar, definitely at the lowest low in numerous years. We should be seeing a breakout in one direction or the other very, very soon. So make sure to keep an eye on this. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.